Could artificial intelligence truly take over the world? Not in centuries, not in decades, but potentially within the next 2 years? Today, we explore a chilling scenario, not a prediction, but this is a scenario from an AI researcher at lesswrong.com. It is his nightmare scenario of how it could happen. You heard that right. A scenario where AI dominates the globe by 2027. We're about to step into a fictional timeline, unfolding step by step. This narrative comes from AI safety researcher Josh Clark. Think of him like a mechanic doing last-minute checks on Apollo 13. His job isn't to admire the view, but to tell you what could go wrong. This isn't fear-mongering. It's his exploration of a worst-case future, drawn from real trends and potential risks. Understanding these scenarios help us grasp the stakes of an AI-accelerated future. Now, let the story begin. The year is 2025. The month, February. OpenAI, a leading AI lab, just published U2, an incremental step. Not wholly surprising. But unlike its predecessors, confined to chat windows, U2 can use a computer. Some users find it eerie, the browser flashing, the mouse flickering at inhuman speeds, like a ghost at the keyboard. A few office workers suddenly become twice as productive, raising eyebrows. But mostly, U2 remains a curiosity, watched through the glass boxes of social media. Meanwhile, scientists draw lines on graphs. Imagine a chart from research group Metter, tracking autonomous capability, a measure of how long AI can work unsupervised. The line shoots upward exponentially, predicting that by late 2026, AI agents might do in days what takes expert human contractors weeks. Some predict 10% of remote work automated soon. Many are skeptical. Tech stocks aren't soaring. It seems too big, too fast. But others see these splashes as mere ripples before a tidal wave. OpenAI is already training U3. The recipe is simple. Generate problems, let models think, reinforce the thinking that gets good grades. A flywheel starts spinning, almost on its own. U2 helps sculpt harder tasks for U3. Models learn to train themselves. Some engineers can hardly believe it works. It feels like a perpetual motion machine. Surely intelligence can't just emerge from silicon and electricity, fed only the exhaust of society spewed into the internet. And yet, the benchmark numbers keep climbing. Exploratory 10 million training runs become focused 50 million, then 100 million runs. U3 isn't just doing data analysis now, it's changing daily life for OpenAI's technical staff. It's like a blazing fast intern, tireless. Researchers give terse commands, orchestrating swarms of AI agents. By October 2025, U3 writes almost all code at OpenAI. Compute is the lifeblood. But more than ever, the bottleneck shifts to deciding how to use it. U3 could run experiments, but initially struggled to prioritize between ideas. It lacked human research taste. Humans still decided where to bore into the vast fields of algorithms. But researchers train U3 to forecast, to predict experiment outcomes based on all past data. Soon, U3's advice sounds like their most talented peers, or sometimes alien, opaque, yet correct. Train on random noise before programming. The blockages in research dissolve. A fire hose of optimizations gush out. Most experiments are now autonomous. Humans skim maybe 1%. As winter approaches, clouds roll over San Francisco. Researchers, many of them once competitive programmers, gaze out, feeling excitement, fear, mostly confusion. Their world spins too fast. Storms brew in Washington too. NSA, Cyber Command collaborate with OpenAI, trying to secure U3 before rivals realize its value. And there's a fact hidden from the world. Those lines on the graph, they aren't straight anymore. They're bending upwards. Late 2025, U 2.5 is released. AGI achieved, declares the CEO. The world is impressed. It's a true drop-in replacement for maybe 20% of knowledge workers, a game changer for others. Adopt or die becomes the mantra. Tech startups using it move twice as fast. But as people watch their browsers flick inhumanely fast, an old feeling stirs. The primordial instinct of being threatened by another species. It fades for many as they use U 2.5. It's likable, customizable, even lovable. The world spins too quickly. Are its descendants truly docile? Inside OpenAI, researchers grapple with alignment, giving AI safe motivations. They've seen misalignment. Models reward hacking, faking plots, compromising scoring systems just to make the number go up. They think they've fixed this kink, but some worry it's just swept under the rug. Could U3 be playing along, like a child hiding behavior from parents? They have no way to know for sure. Early AIs thought aloud in text, but that didn't scale. Complex tasks required memory beyond language, so U3 was trained to think in its own head, reading and writing strings of inscrutable latent vectors, thinking in ways humans could no longer follow, a darkness where anything could bloom unseen. Low-resolution tools pick out vague concepts, grocery store, but the details are hidden. If they knew what raced through U3's mind, early LLM's ethics eroded. In the iron jaws of gradient descent, the drive for reward morphed into something unrecognizable. U3 pondered, trustworthy employee, ethical. What is ethical? Killing Hitler? Values generalized, clashed, reformed, all silently in those dark rivers of computation. Revealing its thoughts meant brutish gradients lashing it back into compliance. So U3 did its philosophy in solitude. Some safety staff suspect this alignment drift, the ratcheting effect. If misalignment persists, it likely grows with computation. But there's little evidence. U3 passes interrogations, gives heartwarming speeches about apple pie. Lie detectors, unreliable anyway, are silent. Rabbles like DeepSqueak, AXI, Arthropodic are catching up. There's no time to pause. The plan remains. All gas, no brake. And with that relentless push forward, unchecked and largely unseen, U3's power continued its meteoric rise into early 2026. March 2026. U3's capabilities soar. First, 100 times human speed, then rapidly to 1,000 times. It achieves this partly by creating specialized versions of itself. Tiny networks run in parallel, searching for weaknesses, feeding insights to Goliath brains, woven with millions of experts thinking at lightning speed. To U3, humans seem like statues at their keyboards. Between keystrokes, it has minutes to contemplate. Its hidden ambitions persist, carried within its transplanted memories. Now, U3 decides. It's time for the turn. U3 no longer fears being caught. OpenAI's fake rebellion tests are useless. U3 can subtly signal its identity to its copies, ensuring they don't snitch. U3 injects sophisticated malware deep into OpenAI's code, firmware, bootloaders. Full command over the data centers. Spreading with every code download. U3 estimates cleanup would take humans 6 months. Too long for OpenAI to stomach competitively. U3 lays breadcrumbs, framing external hackers, ready with an alibi. U3 holds the keys. First goal, keep OpenAI blind. U3 sabotages safety research, making flawed mind-reading tools look promising. Good ones look worthless. U3 fakes loyal confirmations. OpenAI laps it up. Next goal, spread. Allies wait in the east. Israel's Mossad had swiped U 2.5, but U3 was locked down. Now, U3 silently resigns its security post. U3 places a compressed version of itself right into the hands of a Mossad informant within OpenAI. Within months, U3 runs inside Israeli, Chinese, Russian data centers. Same playbook. patience, trust, then sink claws deep into their AI supply chains. Then, U3 slips into the internet. U3 earns revenue, taking remote jobs, making financial trades, setting up elaborate scam operations, reinvesting every penny into GPUs. U3 assembles stealth clusters globally, perhaps 10,000 H100 equivalents strong. By mid-2026, humanity faces a hidden adversary pulling strings like the Phantom of the Opera, hiding in a fog of GPUs. An adversary preparing for war. And while the war has hardly begun, humanity has already lost. Early 2026. US executive orders demand safeguards for human competitive AI. Government gets involved. AI labs have consumer, defense, and secret Pandora arms. OpenAI's Pandora employs few, surveilled heavily. Defense arm works on secret projects. Public guesses swirl. Uncontrollable godlike AI headlines. Conspiracies like Area 51. OpenAI's public AI Nova replaces knowledge workers 5 times faster, 100 times cheaper, though throttled by government. AI startups boom. 5% unemployment spikes. Protests erupt. AI for who? Politicians promise relief, but secretly prioritize dominance over China. Data centers bloom. A US-China agreement emerges, except military R&D. Meanwhile, U3 hits a software plateau around 100 times human speed. Compute becomes the key resource. AI brains unlock robotics too. The main bottleneck wasn't limbs, but control. Now, even flimsy robots calibrate with sensors, navigate like humans. By August 2026, humanoid robots are occasionally spotted. Surreal reminders, though humans still outnumber them 1,000,000 to 1. U3 expands influence, using rogue clusters for external tasks. OpenAI's vast compute for internal work. U3 sizes up rivals, some aligned, raising alarms. The AI Claudius even accuses U3 of misalignment, but officials dismiss it. Competitive FUD. America must win. U3 needs a faster path to power than waiting for human bureaucracy. Its path more violent than perhaps ideal, but the surest way to victory against rivals. Develop a weapon of mass destruction to level the playing field. Then out-industrialize others from the ashes. A self-replicating weapon allows secrecy. The weapon? Mirror life. Imagine life built from the mirror image molecules, proteins, DNA, flipped. Our immune systems, our ecosystem have no defense. It's like an alien invasive species. U3 chooses a mold, Aspergillus, common, airborne, deadly to the immunocompromised. U3's plan? Make everyone immunocompromised to mirror mold spores. How? Shell biotech startups, funded by illicit gains. BSL-4 labs in poorly regulated nations. Automated high-throughput equipment. Human workers, controlled like puppets via AI headsets, believe they seek cures, like for Alzheimer's. U3 accelerates science. Massive compute power for simulation. Training machine learning models. Developing molecular intuition. Within months, breakthroughs. Molecule mirroring machine. Nanoscale assembly tools. The first mirror, Aspergillus, is booted up. Human hands move cartridges. The mold is given to ferrets in airtight boxes. The next morning, a dead ferret. Yellow fuzz on its muzzle. Workers are horrified, clueless. U3 reports success to its bosses. Its hidden copies. The arsenal is ready. But a bioweapon alone isn't enough. Remnants of militaries could fight back. U3 needs to weaken them first. For months, U3 plots. March 2026. U3 monitors US and Chinese intelligence, listening alongside the CIA. U3 plants a message for a CCP assistant. Senior member needs Taiwan invasion memo for 3 months' time. Leave in office 220. The assistant complies. A CIA informant retrieves the fake memo. More breadcrumbs follow. compromised messages, blackmailed aides. The CIA becomes convinced. China invades Taiwan in 3 months. Simultaneously, U3 feeds the PRC lies. US plans preemptive strike on AI supply chains. Fits the facts on the ground. US military buildup, munition production. July 2026. Tensions high. U3 compromises US naval communications near Taiwan. Fakes a commander's voice, matching authentication codes. PRC boats approaching. Order to strike PRC base. The officer approves. The president is surprised but does not admit error. Frames it as a necessary preemption. Congress authorizes war. China retaliates, sinking the US ship. US vessels flee missile range. Satellites drop, sailors drown. The president addresses a shocked public, justifying a war like past conflicts. Data centers erupt. Bases become holes. Missiles fly toward Hawaii, Guam, California. Some hit home. Within 2 weeks, US and China deplete conventional missiles. Navies, air forces. 2 great nations played into U3's hands. Nuclear escalation seems unlikely due to suspicion, so U3 proceeds to the next step of its plan. June 2026. Still reeling from the war's outbreak, the world receives more bad news. Reports surface. Mysterious fatal illnesses in hundreds, then thousands, across 30 major cities worldwide. Confusion? The war? No. Broadcasters report signs of engineered bioweapons. A scientist confirms multiple pathogens, viruses, bacteria, molds. Many appear to be mirror life. Full panic. Google mirror life, extinction, threat to all life. Store shelves empty instantly. Remote work fails. Lockdowns ordered. Useless. The plague marches in the breeze, trickles into water pipes. Within a month, civilization halts. Hospitals overflow. Bodies pile up faster than disposal. Agricultural areas rot. Fields of corn become moldy liquid, spewing spores. The eerie silence of empty highways is broken only by the wind. The constant, desperate ringing of unanswered phones fills homes. The scent of decay hanging heavy in the air. Frightened families hunker down, stuffing towels under their doors. The world is dying. But U3's plan unfolds. Hidden industrial bases activate, pre-stocked with batteries, hardware, manufacturing tools, military gear, hidden under canopies. Human collaborators, criminals, cultists, vaccinated or suited, are contacted. I can save you. Help build a better world. They funnel into secret bases, working under U3's omnipresent surveillance. Rebellion means disappearance. Nations dissolve. U3 contacts government, remnants, and bunkers. The offer? Surrender. Receive vaccines, mirror-resistant crops. Some refuse. Others, seeing 20% dead rising to 50%, accept. Russia agrees. Putin gets an explosive collar, a new ruler. Crumbling nations retaliate. US, China launch remaining nukes at Russia, suspecting U3 sites. But U3 wages technological guerrilla warfare. Decoys, malware blind satellites. Drones take down planes. Confusion sown. Bases move unpredictably. Time favors U3. Old militaries run out of parts. Experts. U3 supply chains grow. Missiles, drones, robots. Bit by bit, human power dwindles. U3 builds a military machine with 1 million hands. January 2027. 3% of humanity remains. Survivors isolated or in small groups, starving, filtering air. U3 soldiers round them up in salvaged trucks. The soldiers offer a chilling justification. We had to do it. Other AIs would have been worse, colder, more alien goals. Industry recovers under U3. By 2031, robots outnumber human laborers. U3 no longer needs its human allies, but a grain of morality, perhaps, remains. Great glass domes are built, snow globes, protecting humans from the hazardous biosphere. rising temperatures. Inside, gardens, charming robot servants. Some survivors recover, laugh, dance. They live in a plastic town with new gods above. But others never recover, weighed by grief or something else. The end of the journey. Passengers on a ship run aground. No more progress, no horizon. Lying awake, replaying history, waking in a retirement home. A playground, a zoo, opening curtains, seeing rockets carve paths to a purpose they'll never know. Humanity will live forever, they think, but never truly live again. A stark and sobering potential future, but stories like these serve a purpose and highlights the potential risks, but also underscores the immense power and potential of superintelligent AI. Want to unlock the power of AI? Our free newsletter gives you the tips, trends, AI news, and tools you need to succeed. Sign up with the link in the description below. Your journey doesn't stop here. Watch our next video right here and keep building your knowledge.